And then, that gives me my winter months, which is kind of nice.
Zach, can I ask you a question? Is like Hypoxico, I think they're an altitude tent company. Are they legit? Have you heard anything about them? And do those tents work?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. No, it's like Dylan Bowman, he was a rep for Hypoxico.
gotcha.
That was like how I knew of him first. Um, yeah, the altitude tent is what most professional athletes on the distance running side of like the track and road world will do if they're able to, because you get the most adaptation to living at altitude more so than running at it. So by being able to just spend time at altitude, but so for like someone who's training for the mile, you're not going to get very good at the mile if you live at 7,000 feet because you just simply can't run that fast because there's no air up there.
Hmm.
But if you were able to say go down to sea level for every single one of these workouts, your body is going to get, better prepared for something faster like that. But then you would still get all the benefits of living up at altitude.
I'm looking on the Hypoxico site right now, and you can get like a full tent with the generator for like $3,000.
I will say it's like I think they'll say on there too, like if for this to work, you have to spend like 10 continuous hours in it at a point. So like, and
Not
that's
eight,
one of the
like not
most,
8 hours of sleep. It has to be 10.
yeah, like I think eight's not quite long enough. Like you need to be really good at sleeping, which is something that a lot of professional athletes are very good at. That's one of their superpowers is sleeping. But you the hour before you go to bed and the hour after you wake up, you just spend in the tent, but you're committing a lot of your time to a plastic bubble, and that's not feasible for a lot of people. But if we're talking about just like the nomad, like single person lifestyle of just robot training,
Yeah.
yeah, bubble it up.
Sorry, I know I got us off on a whole nother tangent there, but Hypoxico.
It's kind of fascinating. Yeah, and like the Oregon Project for a while, they had an entire altitude house up in Portland.
An altitude house?
Yeah, like you go to the zoo and you go into the butterfly exhibit and you have to walk through those sets of doors that leads to another set of
Yeah,
doors,
yeah,
and
yeah.
between those sets of doors it gets uncomfortably humid. It's kind of like that except with no air.
Wow. The first thing with these, I gotta say, I gotta ask one more question about these tents. Like, I'm getting worse sleep at altitude, right? That's a thing
For a while.
for a while.
It's because your body has to respond and adapt to it. Most people sleep poorly at altitude because they're only up there for like a week. Um, but if you're up there for a month or 6 weeks, 8 weeks, it'll start to get pretty normal. Because what elevation do you live at right now?
I'm at let me check, 4,200.
Okay, yeah, so you're kind of right in that bubble zone
I'm in the
where
bubble zone.
hypoxico would say that's not high enough, but it's definitely high enough where you notice if you come down to sea level, you run
Oh
faster.
yeah, 100%. Well, the reason
Yeah.
I'm doing I defer. I got into Leadville this year, but I'm deferring to 2023. I think I'm going to get one of these
Mm.
tents for
Yeah, I
Leadville.
mean, I know people that's been a way people have gotten ready in the past